What's up guys? Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about why Ilia Topuria will become champion at UFC 298 against Alexander Volkanovski. And afterwards I'm going to give my prediction for the co-main event, which is Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. At UFC 298 in main event, Alex Volkanovski will take on undefeated Ilia Topuria, defending his featherweight title again. However, he's coming off a KO loss to Islam Makhachev at lightweight. In that fight, he didn't look that good, as he got knocked out in the first round with a head kick to the temple. It looked really bad for him. And this is a big reason for me to pick Ilia Topuria. I mean, when you get knocked out like that, it could be career changing. We saw that in the past. Look at, for example, Kamaru Usman. He didn't look the same afterwards. Or Dominic Reyes. He got knocked out, like for example, by Jan Blachowicz. He didn't look good ever after. I mean, there are multiple guys you can think of who never looked the same after a big knockout like that. I'm gonna be honest, if it wasn't for that knockout at UFC 294, I'm pretty sure I would have picked Volk instead of Ilia Topuria. I think it really makes a big difference in this one. So on the other hand, we have Ilia Topuria. He's coming off some good wins against Josh Emmett, absolutely dominated in that fight. Bryce Mitchell also dominated him, gave Bryce his first loss in his career. And Jai Herbert at lightweight, good knockout. I know it's not the same competition of Volk. You know, Volk has been fighting Islam Makhachev, he's been fighting Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway. You know, pretty better guys than the competition of Ilia. So Ilia is definitely not as well proven. You know, he could lack skill against such an elite guy like Volkanovski. I mean, Volk has been beating everybody at featherweight. He's still undefeated at featherweight as well. But in my opinion, Ilia is just well-rounded enough to beat Volk. He has really good grappling. He has more submissions. He's got good knockouts as well. Good knockout ability. Just great striking. You know, I think he could even knock out or submit Volkanovski. I think he's that well-rounded. Even though Volk is also just as well-rounded. They're both super well-rounded. So ultimately, my prediction for this fight is that Ilia will pretty clearly win the first few rounds. Maybe Volk will take a fourth round or third round. I think he's gonna win that one round at least. But then after that in the fifth round, I think Ilia will get the knockout. Pretty clean knockout. I don't think it's gonna be a TKO. I think it's gonna be an actual knockout in the fifth round. And I think that because we saw how he did against Josh Emmett in that 5-round fight. He looked so good the whole fight. I think because of that, I'm gonna pick him to knock out Alexander Volkanovski in the fifth round. But before that fight, we're gonna have a co-main event with Robert Whittaker, who's coming off a loss against the champion Dricus du Plessis. He will be facing Brazilian Paulo Costa, who is coming off a win against Luke Rockhold, which was a pretty long time ago. And that's because Paulo's last 3 fights have been cancelled. So he's been pretty inactive. He's gotten injured in that Hamza Chimaev fight. He got pulled off the UFC 291 card, I think. Yeah, it was UFC 291, I think, because he was gonna fight in Abu Dhabi. And before that, the fight got cancelled with Robert Whittaker as well. So this fight has been cancelled before. Now it's most likely happening. There's 1 week left, so I don't know if he's gonna pull out now or if he's gonna miss weight. He still could do that. So I don't know if this fight's gonna happen, but the closer we're getting, the more likely it's gonna happen. but I won't believe it until he actually steps in the cage. However, for my pick, I'm gonna have to pick Robert Whittaker in this one. I know he's coming off a big loss, but that was against the now champion, you know. I still think Bobby is much more skilled than Paulo is. I do like both guys in this fight. They're both good strikers. They have both good wrestling. They're both pretty well rounded, but Bobby's striking is much better in my opinion. Bobby just has the clean striking, you know. Look how he did against Vettori or Cannonier or even Izzy in that rematch. I think his striking is way too advanced for Paulo. That's why I think he will TKO. That's why I think he will TKO Paulo Costa in the third round. I do think this one's going to be a really entertaining fight. They're both probably gonna hit each other. You know, maybe they're gonna stun each other a bit. Paulo could be a pretty strong guy, so that could be something. I think this is gonna be a really entertaining one. Okay, that was the video for today, guys. Tell me how hyped you are for UFC 298 in the comments. Me personally, I'm pretty hyped for this one. I think it's gonna be a pretty good pay-per-view. You know, we have some good fights on this card with Volk versus Topuria, uh, Whittaker versus Costa. We also have Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal, and we have Henry Cejudo fighting Marab Davashvili. So it's good. It's a pretty good pay-per-view in my opinion. It's not as good as 299 and 300 probably, but it's still really stacked. So I'm pretty hyped for this one. Also, tell me if you agree or disagree with my picks in the comments. Alright, see you in the next one.